The story of the Red Sea parting is one of the most dramatic and well-known miracles in the Bible. It highlights God's power and His deliverance of the Israelites from Egyptian bondage. This event is recorded in the book of Exodus, particularly in chapters 14 and 15. The Israelites trapped, the Israelites standing by the Red Sea, with Pharaoh's army approaching in the background. Moses' faith, Moses raising his staff and stretching out his hand over the sea, invoking God's power. Strong east wind, the Red Sea being driven back by a strong east wind, beginning to part the waters. Parted sea, the Red Sea fully divided, with walls of water on each side and a dry path in the middle. Israelites crossing, the Israelites walking through the divided sea on dry ground, looking in awe at the walls of water. Egyptians pursuing, Pharaoh's army chasing the Israelites into the midst of the parted sea. Waters returning, Moses stretching out his hand again as the waters start to flow back, trapping the Egyptian army. Engulfed army, the waters completely covering Pharaoh's chariots and horsemen, symbolizing their defeat. Israelites rejoicing, the Israelites celebrating on the far shore, having safely crossed the Red Sea. Song of Moses, Moses and the Israelites singing a song of praise to the Lord, commemorating their deliverance. The story of manna from heaven is a significant event in the Bible, illustrating God's provision for the Israelites during their journey through the wilderness. This story is recorded in the book of Exodus, particularly in chapter 16. Israelites grumbling, the Israelites expressing their hunger and complaints to Moses and Aaron in the wilderness. Promise of manna, Moses relaying God's promise of providing bread from heaven to the people. Evening quail, quail covering the camp in the evening, providing meat for the Israelites. Morning dew, a layer of dew surrounding the camp in the morning, with thin flakes appearing as the dew evaporates. Gathering manna, Israelites gathering the manna from the ground, each collecting an omer per person. Inspecting manna, Israelites examining the manna, wondering what is it, and Moses explaining it is God's provision. Cooking manna, families preparing and eating the manna, enjoying its taste like wafers made with honey. Sabbath preparation, Israelites gathering double portions of manna on the sixth day in preparation for the Sabbath. Disobedience consequence, spoiled manna full of maggots, illustrating the result of disobeying God's instructions. Manna throughout the journey, the Israelites consistently gathering and eating manna during their 40-year journey in the wilderness. This miraculous provision of manna demonstrated God's faithfulness and care for His people, teaching them to trust and depend on Him daily.